What's up, gang? It's Chris Angel coming at you with another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Today's episode, we're talking about the junk drawer. That's right, your marketing junk drawer. So look, in my kitchen, we have a junk drawer. Doesn't everybody have a junk drawer? And it doesn't take long for this junk drawer to get full. It's weird, and I don't know how it holds as much as it holds. Like, you can just keep cramming stuff in there, right? And from pencils and uber amounts of pens and notepads and batteries and scissors and wrenches and screwdrivers, and it's bizarre. Loose change. It's bizarre what ends up in the junk drawer. And there's more things than I ever would have thought could be in there, yes? So it's interesting, right? Because as I was thinking about the old junk drawer, I realized like in business, we do the same thing. We, over time, over the course of years in business, we collect things. And when those things are not working, we put them in the junk drawer. In fact, if we get really honest, right, we will go, I have done this, right? I will go buy a course, I'll buy a book, and then sometimes I have not even read the book and I've bought it, or I've not even watched the course and I bought it. I mean, talk about embarrassing, right? So, in fact, if I look back at the number, like the financial number that I've spent on all the things, all the trinkets and the tools I've collected over the years of business, 17 years of business, I would be appalled at that number, I think. I think if I looked at the number, I'd be like, whoa. And what did it get me? What did it do for me? Most of it, nothing. And it just sits in the junk drawer, right, of marketing. So let me walk you through like how this doom loop happens, right? I think the first thing that happens is, and why this happens is we don't know where we really want to go. When you don't know where you want to go, any shiny object that pops up, you're like, that could help. Let me buy that. And if it's in your price range, you'll grab it. You're like, oh yeah, that fits in my price range. Let me grab that ebook. Oh yeah, that little software program looks good. Let me buy that. And we just start collecting and buying. And if we got really honest, some of us are hoarding all of these little tools and trinkets that we hoped when we bought them would get us where we wanted to go, except that all of this starts because we don't actually know where we want to go. Some of us got into business because we wanted to have financial freedom. And some of us got into business because we didn't want to answer to anybody else. We wanted autonomy. And some of us got into business because we had a certain financial number in mind. But none of that acts as a true compass for where you're actually trying to go. In other words, all of it is void of meaning and purpose. It's void of meaning and purpose. So at some point you realize this and you wake up one day and you're like, where am I going? Where am I headed? What is this all for? And so you don't have any orienting thing, purpose, meaning that helps you make decisions about what you buy. So you just buy trinkets and tools hoping that they're going to get you to some unknown destination called autonomy, called a financial number, called freedom, right? Okay, from that place then, what happens is we go along the path and we buy just any old trinket and tool that sounds good in the moment and fits our price point. And then from there, what happens is when it doesn't work, we take those things we bought and we just kind of stuff them in somewhere, and then off we go to find the next trinket, right? Because it's very uncomfortable to sit still. It's very uncomfortable to sit still. You need to let this sink in. It's very uncomfortable to sit still. And in the process of not wanting to sit still, we fill our time with buying trinkets from webinars and Facebook ads and all the things. Okay, can you see how this keeps us stuck for years and or decades? Now, you might produce some results, you might be making money, but it's not sustainable and it's not life-giving. It drains your energy. So, we are not bound to that destiny, that we could create something different. And here's where it starts. If you want something different, here's what's possible. That you could actually know where you want to go. Very clearly, you would know, like, this is my life's work. So we're moving from like, I don't know where I'm going, so I'll buy any old trinket hoping that it gets me there, to I know exactly where I'm going and what my life's work is. Like I will do this work for the rest of my life. That is very orienting. That is very solid foundation to build from. So from that place then, what happens is you start to invest in powerful paradigms and processes, right? That align with your important work, that align with your life's work. See, when you have a destination called this is my life's work, this is what I'm here to do on this planet, then when processes and paradigms come along that you can invest in, you do, if they're in alignment, and you will invest more in those paradigms and processes than you ever would have spent in the past. When you start to invest in paradigms and processes, you will spend way more than you ever spent on tools and trinkets. Because paradigms and processes are the actual things that create the transformation for you. And in this new version of you, you actually understand that. And so you gladly pay more than you ever would have paid for in the past for trinkets and tools. You pay way more for paradigms and processes because you realize that that's what creates the transformation. Okay? And from that place, then each additional program or process or paradigm that you invest in actually doesn't occur as more junk to put in a drawer. It actually expands and deepens the foundation of what you're building for your life's work, which allows you to build as high as you want to build. Right? Where in the past, right, the old pattern is, hey, let's buy a trinket, maybe this will help. And then it doesn't, so we stuff it in the drawer. Here, we're going down the path. We've invested in paradigms and processes. A new paradigm or process comes into our view, and we invest in that knowing that it's going to actually, it's not an extra thing. It's not a I hope this works thing. It's a this makes my foundation even stronger, and I see where it fits, and so I'm willing to invest in it because it will allow me to build as high as I want to go. And then from that place, you go look for more paradigms. You actually look for paradigms and processes to fill in the holes in your business so that you can live the life that you have always dreamed of living, right? So that, gang, that is the power of getting clear on where you want to go. That is the power of paradigms and processes, because that is the only thing that creates the true transformation. I think in our old selves, we tried to lean on tools and trinkets to create transformation when tools or trinkets were never made for transformation. There's no way for the tool or the trinket to create the transformation. But the new version of you realizes this, and so you wisely confidently invest in processes and paradigms, knowing that that's what's actually going to get you to your promised land. All right, gang, that's it for this episode. Now, I'm going to link up there's a continuation. We have a companion show called Groundswell Marketing Principles. And what we do is every show that we do here, I actually go in and I'll create 4 principles, 4 mindsets that take you from where you're stuck to where you want to be. And today, I will link that up below. You'll see the 4 principles that move you from having a junk drawer to having, a vault of paradigms and processes. So look for that in the comments below. And until tomorrow, when we do another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us, have a great night and go invest in some processes and paradigms.